Since the inception of TNA, the X Division has been a unique addition to the professional wrestling landscape. Joining me today is one of the most exciting and innovative stars of this division. He is the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing great.
First of all, congratulations on the birth of your son in October.
Thank you very much.
And I have to ask, have you had to transfer any of that cat-like in-ring skill into avoiding getting peed on while you're changing diapers?
I've avoided it so far. I don't know if I'll avoid it forever, but so far I've been very lucky.
Chris, you wrestled for many independent promotions as well as brief stints with WWE, ECW and WCW. But you've often said that your loyalty to the company is the one that gives you opportunities until they give you a reason not to.
Right.
Is TNA that company for you, and do you feel as if you've hit your stride there?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they're definitely the company I'm going to stick with. You know, they've given me the opportunity. They've given me the ball to run with it. And so far I feel like I've proven their loyalty correct. Yeah, right now I feel like I'm hitting my stride. Everything's kind of going. Everything's kind of falling our way at TNA. So I'm with them for the long haul.
Take us back to the 6 Stars of Steel at Turning Point in 2004. What was going through your mind as Alex Skipper was bouncing on the top of that cage?
Really don't fall. I mean, that was the gist of it all. But I mean, that was a big night for us. I mean, the fact that they gave us the opportunity to main event the pay-per-view, you know, it was a chance for all 4 of us to go out there and show that we deserved to be main event players. And I felt like we proved it that night. Yeah, and there was a lot of pressure. You know, so many things can go wrong inside a steel cage match, and especially that particular thing that you're talking about with Elix. But we came out of it. We came out of it pretty unscathed compared to what it could have gone.
You've had some outstanding matches in the X Division. The 3-way against AJ Styles and Samoa Joe at Unbreakable was truly amazing. What were your thoughts on that match, looking back on it?
Well, I just felt like it was another opportunity to show that I could main event a pay-per-view. It's the first time in our history that, or at least in TNA's history, that the X Division main evented a pay-per-view. And we went out there, the 3 of us showed that the X Division certainly has every right to be the main event on any given night. So, you know, it meant a lot that they gave us that opportunity, and I felt like, again, we proved that they're giving us an opportunity. We showed them that they were right in doing so.
The reputation of the X Division continues to grow. Do you think that it has a solid future in the business?
Oh, definitely. I think guys like myself and Joe and AJ, and then the guys coming up like Alex Shelley and Austin Aries, we've got a lot to prove, and we've got a lot to offer professional wrestling. And it's just a matter of the management giving us the opportunity, and so far that's what TNA's done.
You've worked with AJ Styles in all sorts of matches. How did the 2 of you keep it fresh after working together for so long?
Well, it's just a matter of taking what we've done and trying to add to it, or just trying to flip it around a little bit, just trying to do different stuff. But when you get a guy when you get a guy like AJ and you get chemistry like he and I have, it's pretty easy, and it's fun to do. I mean, it's always fun to work with AJ.
What are your thoughts on TNA taking Impact on the road sometime and doing house shows?
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, that's our hope. Once we feel like the television has kind of yielded an audience for a house show tour, that's the plan. So I'm looking forward to it. That's like the next step, I think.
Yeah, you said that you're looking forward to it, but you've said a few times before that one of the things that you love about being in TNA is the schedule is not as relentless, and it means that you can stay at home with your family more. Do you think that's going to put more pressure on you if they do take Impact on the road?
No, I don't think necessarily that it will. I just think it's a matter of, instead of all the independent work that I do, I'll end up just doing a lot more for TNA, which is fine. I mean, right now I feel like independent shows that I do are my house shows, and it's a chance to kind of keep my skills sharp, every week, going out there and working as often as I do. So, you know, if it turns out where on the weekends I'm working for TNA rather than for independents, it's still me working, and you know, I still get to come home and spend a substantial amount of time with my family, so that's not a problem to me.
What other independent promotions have you been spending time with?
Well, Ring of Honor is first and foremost, just because their schedule's pretty heavy, but I've also done a lot for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla out in California. I just did a weekend for 1PW in England. I've done stuff for the IWC that's based out of Pittsburgh. I've done a lot of stuff with Jim Kettner's ECWA. So, you know, it's just a matter of working where, kind of working where I'm wanted, you know.
Have you been back over to Japan to do All Japan Wrestling?
No, I haven't done. The last thing I did, I went over in November for 01. I haven't returned to New Japan for about a year and a half, but with the relationship between TNA and New Japan, I hope that that will change soon. Yeah.
You said that you're still spending, you know, you're working with the Ring of Honor, but you had mentioned before that you were put in a position a while back where you had to make a choice in terms of that promotion. How's that affected your relationship with them?
Well, they understood where I was coming from. I mean, I really had to choose between. I mean, the thing was, they knew that I was getting more work and a good chunk of my income from TNA, and they knew that if I had the choice, I would have rather done both, but that wasn't my choice. It was something that I was kind of forced into. And I always kept in touch with Gabe and the Ring of Honor office while I was kind of exiled from there.
Yeah.
And I always supported them from afar. And so, you know, once the opportunity came back to return, it was very, I was welcomed back pretty much with open arms.
Tell us about the one-act plays on your website.
Oh, well, when I, you know, unfortunately I don't get a chance to do as much of those as I wanted to now, or as I used to, but, you know, that was just funny anecdotes that happened to me on the road with different wrestlers, and I just thought it'd be fun to share those with the fans that were supporting my website.
And the cow goes is hysterical. Did Ikuto Hidaka go around saying meow after the end of every sentence?
He still does. He still does off and on.
He does.
Yes.
Our editor last year interviewed Raven, and Raven mentioned that he thought you should be working right now as a babyface. What are your thoughts on the way that your character's headed right now?
Well, they basically just did turn me babyface in the last month and a half. So, I mean, right now, it's been a while since I worked as a babyface, so I'm not as comfortable with it as I was doing what I was doing. But I'm 100% committed to trying to make it work, and I think TNA is giving me the opportunity to make it work. So, you know, I'm happy with it. I think it's going to do I think there's a lot of different opportunities for me as a babyface, and I think that's the main thing, is to go and take advantage of the opportunities as they present themselves.
How would you perceive the fans' reaction now that you've turned? Are you finding that you're getting a different reaction from them now?
I think more enthusiastic. I mean, when I was working as a heel, I tried very hard to not elicit a positive response, and a lot of times I still got it. But now that I'm kind of looking for it, and the fans kind of realize that I am, it's a little bit more enthusiastic. Like sometimes it was a little understated when I was doing what I thought was, you know, evil, bad things, and I would still get a positive response. But now that I'm doing now that I'm on the straight and narrow, I'm getting a much more enthusiastic response for it.
You're going into Final Resolution against Samoa Joe. This will be one of your big first pay-per-views as a babyface. We've heard that he has suffered an injury. How's that going to impact on your match with him at Final Resolution?
Well, I'm not really sure. I guess I'll find out when I get into the ring. But you know, I'm going to take any advantage that I can to try and win the match. So if I can figure out where exactly he's hurt, I'll probably concentrate my attack on where it is. But I've already got kind of a good game plan in my head, so I'm not sure if this will affect it or if I'll even deal with it.
Are you looking forward to working more frequently with Joe in the future?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think there's a lot of spotlight right now on Samoa Joe. He's kind of shaking up the X division, And I think that the guy who finally ends the winning streak of Samoa Joe, that's going to be a pretty hefty feather in his cap, and that's what I'm looking to do this Sunday.
Yeah. Is he still going around telling people that you were in Spider-Man? Are you still signing Spider-Man DVDs?
A lot less frequently now. I think that that rumor has come and gone. It's had its day in the sun.
You've mentioned that your idol is Shawn Michaels and that you'd love to step into the ring with him. Is there anyone else that you'd love to face that you haven't yet?
Yeah, I think another guy that I really respected as far as his work and his character was Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
When he was with WWE, I felt like he was a perfect blend of character and talent, and he really could get across his personality when he was on a microphone, and when it came time to get in the ring and perform, he did it as good as anybody. So I really, if I ever had the opportunity to work with him, I think that would be a big thing for me.
Yeah. I've just been part of a press conference with Sting, and he mentioned that when he saw the X Division for the first time, he almost backed out, thought he couldn't do it anymore. What are your thoughts on Sting coming into TNA? What kind of impact do you think it'll have?
Well, I think that it's going to get a lot of people who might have walked away from professional wrestling in the last couple of years. It might entice them to just take a look and see what we're all about. And my opinion is once new fans take a look at what we got going on, they're going to stay with us. Once they realize that it's not exactly what the WWE is offering, when they see that we're truly an alternative, we'll get a lot more people kind of stick around and kind of stick with us. And hopefully that's what Sting will bring to the table, is that name recognition. Just to get, if we can get the fans involved through him, I think it'll benefit TNA as a whole.
Do you think that Christian's had that kind of impact since he came on board with TNA, having consciously made the jump from WWE to TNA?
I think so. But I think Sting will probably have more of an impact, even though he's been away from. I think the fact that he's been away from the business for such a long time, it just kind of increases the anticipation to see him return. Yeah, I think it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges. Christian was kind of high profile up until when he left WWE. But Sting being gone for so long, I think it's just a different question of how he's going to perform. So.
You've had all sorts of classic matches all over the world. What are some that really stand out in your memory?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I've done with AJ kind of stands out in my memory just because I've done so much of it. This last March in England, when we did the International Showdown show, that match kind of stuck out just because it was my first title defense for the X Division title. And, England has always been a very hospitable environment for both me and AJ, so it was a strong night for us. And then that three-way that you just mentioned, the match with Joe and AJ.
Yeah.
The fact that it was the first time that the X Division title main evented for TNA on the 3-hour pay-per-views, that meant a lot to me. So, those two stick out first and foremost right now.
Well, the Unbreakable match, I think that meant a lot to all the fans as well. There was people going around saying, this is one match you really have to see to believe, and They were right, yeah. What would you say has been the pinnacle of your career so far?
Well, I think the X Division title being like the first major singles title that I've held, that definitely stands out in my mind. Hopefully it won't be the last time I hold that championship. So, that's kind of the pinnacle for me. I mean, the X Division being the thing that kind of brought TNA the most exposure, and to hold the championship longer than anybody else in the company, it meant a lot to me, and it's certainly something I'm very proud of.
Are you still looking for movies to watch with your daughter? You still watching them with her?
Yeah, she's kind of entranced with Willy Wonka now. She's watching a lot of the musical numbers in Willy Wonka.
Oh.
She doesn't much care for the story, but she likes the music.
Oh, is this the old one?
No, well, a little bit of both. The Johnny Depp version is what started her, but now she likes the part where Violet Beauregard turns into a blueberry, and she likes it on both versions. So either one is one that I'll end up playing a lot.
Have you sat her down to watch The Princess Bride yet?
No, she's a little young for that yet, but I'm sure that'll end up being on our list as she grows a little bit older.
Yeah, yeah. I'd heard that Conan had suggested that you should watch The Exorcist with her.
Yeah, that and Scarface.
Seems like you should. It seems like you should wait till she's maybe 6 or 7 for those.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. When she learns how to use her AK-47 is probably when she'll get to watch Scarface.
Yeah. Chris, what does the future hold for Christopher Daniels?
Well, just trying to stay busy and stay healthy. I mean, like I said, I feel like right now I'm in the prime of my career. I'm probably doing the best work of my career, and it's in front of more people than I've ever, had a chance to show my work to, what with being on Spike Television.
Yeah.
So, just to try and take advantage of the growth of TNA and get my name out to as many fans as I can and show them that I really am one of the best in the world. So, I mean, that's my goal for 2006. And definitely to try and become X Division champion again.
Yeah. Well, all the best for that X Division championship at Final Resolution in a couple of days' time.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thanks very much for spending the time with us today, Chris. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.